Welcome back to In Ohio Country Today, and we're here in Salina, Ohio at Salina Insurance Group, and with me today is Bill Montgomery, CEO of Salina Insurance, and we're here to talk about a real exciting event that's coming up December the 4th. But before we get into that, Bill, tell us a little bit about you and Salina's background and agriculture and commitment that you have to the ag community.
Sure. Thanks a lot. It's great that you're here, Alan. You are the largest farm and agribusiness producer for the Salina Insurance Group nationwide, and we appreciate that relationship and value it. So thanks for being here today on a very, very cold November morning. But the founder of the Salina Insurance Group was named Edgar Jacob Brookhart. He went by EJ. EJ was my great uncle. He died in 1950, so I really didn't know him. But EJ was a local lawyer, real estate agent, insurance agent, and farmer. He had a herd of registered Guernseys about 6 miles north of Salina. Back in the day, Guernseys were prized for their butter fat, of all things. We maybe would laugh at that today, but so he was kind of a Renaissance man and really multi-talented. He and a few other fellows started what is now the Salina Insurance Group. Back in those days, this is before pickup trucks. The Salina Insurance Group insured farm vehicles, and they, besides tractors, were cars that pulled trailers, wood trailers, and that's what they put the cattle in. They might have been able to get one or two cattle in the back of a trailer, but that's what passed for a pickup truck, back in the 30s and 40s. But EJ raised horses, particularly draft horses. And then my grandpa, Chad Montgomery, came along. EJ was married to Dodie Montgomery, so the Montgomerys kind of came into the business through the back door. But my grandpa Chad had a farm in Mendon. My father and mother bought that farm from my grandma and grandpa. We've always been in and around farms. My father had one of the first surge milking systems in Mercer County back in the late 50s and early 60s, milked 75 head of Holsteins, and that was considered a decent-sized herd back then. It's hard to believe now, but it was, and of course the surge milking system was state-of-the-art. In the late 50s, again, early 60s, my father, Don Montgomery, Owen Hall, local auctioneer and realtor, along with Owen's father, Vaughn Hall, who was a farmer around the Neptune area, started the Western Ohio Livestock Exchange. It was located on what is now the Lakefield Airport, but it was a big deal. The Monday night sales, and the place was packed. I can remember as a kid selling ice cream bars there at the Monday night sales. So yeah, we go back a long way. My dad had cattle and horses and sheep and everything else. Although we lived in town and had day jobs, our roots to the farm and to the farming community run very, very deep. Really back 4 generations.
Well, it was my roots as well. I've been in agriculture and I farm today, but much like director of your farm here at Salina Insurance is an active farmer, and so we really truly understand the needs of the agricultural community and have long relationships with the folks, the clients that we insure, as well as you have long relationships with a lot of agents who distribute your good farm product.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
So all that being said, there's an event that you decided to put on, really to give back to the community. You want to talk about that thing?
Sure. Well, I'm a lawyer by training, although I don't practice, obviously. But I attended a legal seminar in Indianapolis last December, and one of the breakout sessions had a session on farms, what's going on in the country, what's going on with broadband, the internet, and technology. And of course, they talked, about farm liability and some of the emerging issues. And I sat in on that, and I was very intrigued by it. So after the session was over, I approached the panelists, gave them my card, and told them that I would be interested in replicating that that panel here in Salina sometime in the near future. And one thing led to another, and we are having a similar event, although this time with food, here in Salina on December 4th. But it's very exciting because, as you know, Alan, the nature of farming is changing, and high tech is here. As a matter of fact, high tech, big data are more prevalent in the farming community than anywhere else in the country, and people don't realize that. So it's moving fast, and we are obviously in the risk business, the risk transfer business, and so our desire and our hope in putting on this Ag Tech Forum is to enlighten people as to what is on the horizon.
Well, yeah, there's obviously a lot of things on the horizon. Who would have thought a few years ago that, we would be using a guidance system to guide our tractors and such through the field.
Right. Well, and along with that, we have a fella from Beck Seeds, and you know what the seed people are doing now. I mean, these they can ward off disease in the seed. They can do all kinds of things through the seed mechanism, and he will be very, very interesting because of all the nuances that are taking place, but really just in the seed business.
Well, yeah, genetics is a huge part of production, as witnessed by this year. Our crop was late going in the ground, and, you said, gee, you hope you have at least an average crop. And quite frankly, what I'm hearing from a lot of producers, the crop is above average and, was planted a month late. So that is a tribute to technology in the seed genetics.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have another speaker besides somebody from Beck Seeds that's really going to talk about actually, I think, technology and things.
Right. Brad Fruth, F-R-U-T-H, is the Beck Seeds speaker, and a fellow named Matt Bechtel is president of GeoSilos. And this guy is nationally known. He was recommended to us, and so we're going to have Matt Bechtel on the panel as well. And I'm anxious to hear what he has to say. There will be a lot of information purveyed that evening, and there will be a lot to soak in, but we'd like it to be a give and take session because, they say your friends will tell you, and so we need to know what's going on and what's on the mind of folks in the farm and agriculture community. So, come and we can help design products and create services, including loss control that might be very helpful to a lot of farmers.
This is going to be a great event. It's going to have a lot of information, and we really look forward to producers engaging themselves. The seats are going to be limited. You want to so you need to hurry up and sign up fast.
Right, seats are limited. This is a free event, and I think it's going to be a high-powered event. If you snooze, you lose on this one. It would be well worth taking a couple of hours to attend this Ag Tech Forum on December 4th. And, the reason we're doing it is twofold. It's, it's educational, to be sure. But, again, Salina Insurance Group is one of the leading farm insurance providers, that is, underwriters of farm risk in the country. We're in the top 25. And so we know what we're doing. Tyler Stover, a young man from the Rockford area, heads our farm department, and he's the real deal. He and his family farm, and every single person in Tyler's farm unit has some connection to farming. So our people, walk the walk and talk the talk.
Well, Bill, I've attended a lot of these seminars, and I do it whenever I get a chance. I attempt to do that because there's a lot of information, a lot of technology. Folks like these guys are really good. They know what they're talking about, and you can never get enough education. And I think as a producer and as a farmer and as somebody in the risk transfer business, it's important for you to understand and us to know how big data and how technology is going to really help not only a producer produce more, but mitigate his losses and his risk.
Right. Yeah, it's always best to try to resist loss and avert loss and keep it from happening in the first place. If it does happen, we'd like to think we will be there for you if you are one of our policyholders.
Well, Bill, this is going to be a great event. We're really looking forward to it. I look forward to visiting with you again at the event. Remember, the event's December the 4th. It's right here in Salina at Salina Insurance Group's home office from 5 to 8 p.m. And you need to really get signed up for it. The seats are limited. You can do that by going to www.salinainsurance.com. Bill, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Alan. Always good to see you.
We'll be back with more in Ohio Country Today right after this.
Closed captioning paid for in part by the following. Are you looking to buy or sell farmland? Then work with a company that works for you. Ron Spencer Real Estate. Founded in 1975, Ron Spencer specializes in farmland, agricultural, and commercial real estate. Check him out on the web with 3 locations to serve you. Ron Spencer Real Estate at rsre.com. That's rsre.com.
I'm Terry McClure, a fifth-generation soybean farmer. Farming can be tough, but we have the Ohio Soybean Council investing farmers' dollars to find new uses for soybeans. Their research helps develop better beans for livestock, poultry, and for people. It also helps create new products like soy-based cleaning supplies and paint cartridges, plus cleaner-burning soy biodiesel. Soybeans are Ohio's #1 agricultural export. To learn more, visit soyohio.org.
Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. Call Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster. We are your solutions provider. Call 1-800-686-2148.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country Today. And now another moment with Devin Dye, the land guy. Well, Devin, as we close our discussion today, wanted to pass along a point to our viewers and our potential buyers or sellers to get more information about how you do business. You've got something especially on a digital basis.
Yeah, I send it out both electronically and we snail mail it still because we have a lot of people that want to receive stuff in the mail. I make a quarterly newsletter and it summarizes what's going on in the agricultural land market, specifically in Western Ohio. And it goes out quarterly, and if you'd like to sign up for that, you can email me, Devin at rsre.com. You can also contact me through my phone, 419-303-5891. Also with that, anytime we get a new listing, a farm for sale, we put you on our email list and you get it. We don't bombard you with emails and we don't take advantage of that because we respect our customers, but we do keep you up to date on what's going on, and you never know when one will pop up in your area.
And I would suppose that this would be of interest to folks outside Western Ohio as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of absentee owners on that. It's amazing how people have $500,000 in a 401k and they want to watch it every day of their life. But they own $1 million farm and they don't care what the values are, but they live 500 miles away from it. And that's what I have created, is something that can help them keep that value at the top of their mind and understand what's going on with their asset. And the other thing I want to throw out there as far as the newsletter is concerned, a lot of people are just interested in knowing what their specific property's worth. And it's something that I do. I've done it since I've been in the business. If you get a hold of me, I can give you a very good idea of what the value of your asset is. And that just helps you in estate planning. Any planning you have, knowing what you own, knowing what it's worth is very valuable to you.
Devin Dye, the land guy, has been our guest. And Devin, always a pleasure. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Gary.
Welcome to the 30-second tour of your local Poet plant. Local producers sell us tons of their grain. We grind it, mix it with water and special enzymes. The result is fermented, distilled, and dehydrated until it's 200 proof alcohol. Corn oil is extracted, and protein and nutrients are condensed, dried, and turned into animal feed. bringing our tour to an end with high-protein feed and cleaner-burning high-octane fuel. Visit poet.com to learn more.
S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory.
When it comes to manure, Kuhn Knight isn't afraid to say they've handled all kinds for over 60 years. Whether it's dry, wet, slurry, or pin pack, Kuhn Knight has the right spreaders to handle your material. Choose between the rear discharge system with capacities of 165 to 1,230 cubic feet, or pick the side discharge system with 1,000 to 5,000 gallons of capacity. Ask your local Apple Farm Service to learn more about the lineup of Kuhn Knight manure spreaders.
United Equity Inc. is your locally owned farm-based cooperative. For agronomic services, we offer seed and a full line of dry and liquid fertilizer, as well as soil sampling by soil type, grid, or management zone to best utilize your fertilizer application. Call us to discuss agronomic services customized for you. Reach your best yields with United Equity, serving Allen, Auglaize, Mercer, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Visit us on the web at unitedequityinc.com.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country Today. Big Dan Wilson with Lou D'Alessio. And Lou is the Business Development Manager for Manitou North America. Lou, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I really appreciate being here today.
Well, we're here at Apple Farm Service in beautiful Covington, Ohio, and we're going to talk about this incredible machine you have behind us, as well as a variety of other types of models of the Manitou.
Yes, right behind us we have the Manitou MT420. You're looking at a 4,400-pound capacity unit that lifts just over 14 feet. And it also can adapt to all skid steer attachments for the farm. So in other words, you could use all the current attachments that they're using with their current skid steers.
Now, we talked about this new buggy behind us, but let's talk about the evolution of the buggy, if you will.
Yes, the original buggy, we manufactured it about 15 years ago, brought it into the North American market. It was designed primarily for the poultry business. That's where the original buggy was, where it could be telescopic with forks and also a bucket to help clear out chicken litter inside the facilities. But everybody's been asking us, since it's been at least a good 10 years that we haven't had it, are you bringing back the new buggy? Well, here it is today. We have the new buggy, which was just recently introduced.
Well, Lou, the buggy isn't the only one in your product range. Let's talk about the different types of variety of equipment that you do have to offer.
Yes, beside the buggy, which is new to our range, we do have everything starting from 5,500 pounds capacity going all the way up to close to 13,000 pound capacity that can handle everything from a 1 1/4 yard bucket, and we could go on the large machine all the way up to a 5 cubic yard bucket for handling all types of materials, manure, feed, lime, whatever it may be, or cleaning out chicken litter like we discussed earlier. But these machines are what we call MLT, Manitou loaders telescopic. So they are ground engaging booms for working into piles and clearing. And as a matter of fact, as we all know, also snow removal in the winter. These machines are also excellent for snow removal.
You know, that's the interesting thing about your equipment is the diversity. Let's talk more about the diversity and how it's used and what our farmers can expect, or people in agriculture or small construction operators can benefit from utilizing your products.
Yes, that's a good point you just raised. We do have quite a diverse applications for these machines. Like we just mentioned the agriculture, but you could go into home builders, some virtual industries as well. But from a construction standpoint, they could also use it for site clearing, clearing out materials at the end of the project, moving materials to stage it during the construction of buildings and such. So, yeah, the diversity and utilization of the machines is quite expansive.
You know, we talk also about the quality of the construction
that goes into these Manitous. One of the things that I've noticed is that they certainly can handle whatever our farmers or small commercial operators out there can throw at them. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've seen the machines after 5-6 years of use. They're still using them. The doors might be dented. They might have replaced a few windows and such, but they are durable. A lot of the Manitou owners some of them are on their second, third, possibly going on to their fourth generation machine here in North America.
Lou, let's talk about some of the technology that's inside of these Manitou products and what makes them more unique than just a typical skid loader that's out there.
Sure. We have fully proportional hydraulics on these machines so that you can actually fine-tune the utilization. We have a lot of oil flow up at the top of the booms. Like this machine right here has got about 20 gallons a minute. And then the largest machine we manufacture gives you about 54.5 gallons of oil a minute. So you can run a double hydraulic driven silage defacers on these units without batting an eye. Also on the larger machines, you can run snow blowers, a two-stage snow blowers on them. So just shows you how much the diversity or that these are expansive in utilization.
Lou, one of the things that we noticed too is the fact that when we were outside taking a look at some of the product you have out there, it really is amazing. We talked about diversity, but it really is amazing the different types of applications you can use this product for.
That is correct. I mean, on the farms or whether it be constructions, if they're going to put a little jib on the end for raising trusses, if they're going to run a grapple bucket for handling all types of silage or hay or manure. They can put most any type of attachment. Then we also on the larger machines have a skid steer adapter plate. So even those machines, if they want to put on one of their post hole diggers or a sweeper on the front, they can run those attachments.
That's absolutely amazing. Our farmers out there and people that are in that small construction industry are looking for that one tool, not several tools that they have to turn to. And this looks like it's a product that can definitely handle more than just one application on the farm. And that's productivity, that's money saved. That helps the bottom line for our farmers out there.
I agree. In the end, like you just mentioned, it's the cost of ownership that we have to keep low on these machines, but more is the cost justification for this machine. So in other words, if they're going to invest in one of these machines, how many tasks can they handle in their operation in order to say, okay, I could see the cost justification of buying one of these units?
Lou, one of the things we wanted to talk about was the Manitou here at Apple Farm Service, and that's going to be a pretty exciting event coming up very soon right here at their Covington location.
Yes, as a matter of fact, the Manitou, we're launching the first Manitou event here on Wednesday, December the 11th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we will be serving lunch here for people that want to join us. So we look forward to having you here. We will also be going over the operational features of the machines, and customers will have the chance to demo some of the machines here on the premises. And always available for any questions they may have.
Well, this is one of the things that Apple Farm Service is really good at, and that is making sure that their farmer patrons get that hands-on feel about any piece of equipment that they want to purchase, any piece of equipment that they need to use. To get that experience behind the wheel right off the bat really makes a difference, doesn't it, Lou?
Yes, it does, because as the old adage says, the proof is in the pudding. So it's very important that they understand it. Eventually, what Apples will also consider is if they want to do a demo for a day or maximum 2 days at their farm, just to see the maneuverability within their operation and to see if everything fits and how many areas they can actually make it work in.
We talk about the Manitou brand, we're talking about quality, we're talking about diversity, and we're talking about return on your investment in a product like this. Lou, if people want more information, where do they go?
Well, they could go on to Manitou.com if they have any questions, but they could also go to the Apple site here and contact Apple's, because there would be their direct link. But going to our Manitou.com site, they can look at the spec pages and also go over the features and highlights of the equipment.
Lou D'Alessio has been our guest. He's the Business Development Manager for Manitou North America. Lou, thanks for joining us.
It's been a great pleasure, and I would like for everybody to join us on December 11th here at Apple in Covington, Ohio.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more In Ohio Country today, right after this.
Test a Hall of Fame machine with the Manitou event coming to Apple Farm Service. Try out a full range of Manitou telehandlers, from the compact MLT 420 to the massive MLT 961. Hook up over a dozen attachments and test drive around the lot with bales, pallets, and other obstacles. Breakfast, lunch, and prize giveaways will be available at this free event. Plus, receive a $1,500 coupon for your next Manitou when you stop by. It's the Manitou, coming December 11th to Apple Farm Service's Covington store.
Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. Call Allen Davis Insurance Agency in Wapakoneta and Minster. We are your solutions provider. Call 1-800-686-2148.
Sinus problems and headaches? Have a sneaking suspicion there's mold lurking about? With over 20 years in business, you can trust the professionals at EarthSafe Ozone. They will test, inspect, and treat your home or office, eliminating mold, mildew, fungus, and bacteria. It's time to put an end to pesky mold. Call 419-227-0303 to schedule your mold spore test today.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. For more information, as always, you can check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. We have a Facebook account. We also have a YouTube channel and more. And as I mentioned, check us out on inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.